this is Danica Dinsmore with Social Installations, the road trip with our second detour. I am sitting here with Lynne Karey-McKenna. She is in Creston, BC. I will let her tell you a little bit about what she does there because she wears numerous hats. So in a nutshell, what are you in Creston?
Creston is an incredibly creative town filled with so many talented, creative people. You wouldn't know it for a small town. And I am on the board of the Creston Valley Film Society. I help out also with the Bleeding Tree Film Society. We've had 2 film festivals per year. We have the 7th Siding Film Festival, which is in its 7th year this year, and the Bleeding Tree Film Society, which brought international film people to do workshops and to show the films.
And this isn't a town of what, about 4,000 people?
5,000
5,000 people. That's
Right.
incredible.
It is
Okay.
incredible. The film commissioner for the Kootenays lives here, Sarah Kapoor, and she does an outstanding job. We have so many artists here. We have so much music. Any day of the week, pretty much. You walk down our little main street, which is 5 blocks or something, and you'll hear different music coming from different spaces.
Amazing. We just met. We didn't know each other. There's people we have in common, people we know in common. And so one of the questions I always ask people, because there are so many things to be involved in, there are so many things to support, and yet when you found out about Social Installations and what we were doing, you jumped in with a crazy amount of things to offer us. And I'm wondering why.
I see my greatest strength as being able to connect and I want to support creative people. I moved here 4 years ago from the Lower Mainland, and we bought a house that's much bigger than we need with the idea that I wanted to create a retreat for creatives to come and to do their stuff that was inexpensive, that wouldn't cost very much because we all need retreats.
Yeah.
Right. Lori Watt, I know, who is in your road trip, and she is an incredible woman who has done so much for everybody. She always supports everybody. Can I tell you a little story about Lori? She lived in New Westminster, and I had an audition in New Westminster, and they give me a monologue to look at, and it's a Barbie monologue, and I'm realizing I need high heels. So for some reason, I call up Lori, who I barely know, and I'm like, do you happen to have any, high heels I can run and get? She says, Lynn, I'll be there in a few minutes. And she delivers them to me. I mean, this is the kind of person she is. So he deserves any support I can give her. I wanted, to get you guys to Creston. Creston is this little jewel that any film maker would love to see, and they don't know about it. So, because I'm on the board of the Creston Valley Film Society, and we make a lot of little film. I've done the Southern Interior series.
I was just about to plug, speaking of, things that are filmed in the area, we need to tell our audience about Southern Interior. I will describe it to people as Nelson's version of Portlandia.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Tell us how you got involved in that, because you actually don't live in Nelson.
Amy Borhan, who is the director, who's absolutely wonderful. This is her brainchild. And so what was it, 4 years ago or something like that, she had open auditions. And I was just lucky enough to hear about it from some guy passing on the street, a small town. And it was like the deadline to apply. So I ran home and I applied. And I got an audition, and I went in, and the audition was to create a character and just, improvise the character. I had basically just moved here, and I just improvised it with these different characters, and left. And then she called me and said, "We'd love to have you."
You must have nailed the Nelson vibe.
The Nelson vibe is my vibe too,
So when we come to Creston, I think it'd be really hilarious if we walked down the street and every single person we encountered, we said, "So what show are you working on?" And just to see like what percentage of the people we pass on the street are like, "Oh, I'm directing this," or "Oh, I just wrote this," or "I'm acting in this."
You're better off asking them, what creative endeavor, what creative
Okay.
are you part of? Because we have filmmakers, but we have artists, we have woodworkers, we have the winner of, what was it? One of these baking shows. One of these
Wow.
big baking shows.
There must be something about the region that attracted artists in the first place, and then more artists, and then suddenly like artists are surrounded by artists, and we get each other in a way, because you and I have talked in the past about the creative process and about bringing ideas to fruition, which is what social installations is about. Is like, okay, here's an idea, let's see what happens. And I keep saying that most ideas never come to fruition. We have ideas all day long. One of them
Yeah.
gloms, some of them marinate, then suddenly it becomes like, oh, I think I want to move in this direction. And then we move in that direction, and maybe other people join us, or maybe they don't, or maybe we give up, or maybe we get distracted. But, it's like some kind of little creative snowball. Eventually it gets a life of its own, and then you're like chasing it down the hill going, it's out of control. That's how I feel like social installations right now, because I feel like I'm a den mother responsible for all these people who are suddenly jumping on board. Like, oh,
You have ideas, or there's something there, and you need a catalyst. And once that catalyst comes, which you are apparently, you're the catalyst. Once it comes, it does. Chemically, a catalyst then creates a life of its own, right? What seems to be very nice about this is that is that you're letting it just take over, just see where it unfolds. You're not putting it in a container and saying, no, it has to be this.
well, because Creston was not on our original stop list.
I saw your podcast, and I'm like, Lori's there. I'm like, oh my God, these women are incredible.
When we first spoke, you were so excited about explaining everything there is going on in Creston. Your excitement, your joy was contagious. I'd never even heard of Creston. And so I thought, well, she's offering. This sounds amazing. I can get my locks cut off anywhere. Why don't we go to Creston, right? And
Yeah.
you then had idea after idea after idea. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who want to play along. I'm looking for people who get excited about the creative process. I'm looking for people who are open-minded and, like you said, not overly attached to any one way of something happening and letting it unfold or not over the process. And you got that.
Well, I'm an improviser at heart. And speaking of the process, so I was thinking of, we were talking about your dreadlocks, and I was thinking about how to do it. And I'm thinking, I invite the artists, I invite all sorts of people, any kind of people, because there's so many different ideas. I mean, I'm talking about trail kind of people, because hair is natural and can be used for a lot of things in nature too.
Birds' nests.
Exactly. And families, and get kids involved.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Go where the fun is.
One of the things the road trip can bring to people is that everybody has creativity, and you just dive in. You're going to take your dreadlocks off and offer it to people, And you know, you don't have to be an artist, right? But you hold it and
Mhm.
allow your creativity to just come forth. And
With no expectations.
no, it doesn't have to be perfect.
It's why I love working with young kids. They haven't had time to be um dissuaded and go into despair because they're just, creative beings by nature. They're in their imaginations. They're living in two worlds, and I hate the idea that somebody's creativity was squashed along the way
Yeah.
and not supported and celebrated and explored.
I want to support that in everybody because I think, you know, there's too many people who have chosen to squash their own creativity. And the more creative energy you bring to a place, you know, the more it grows.
And it has a healing effect too. Like collaboration, community, and creativity and exploration, it transforms us. And we know there's a lot of negativity in the world right now.
Yeah, and it's healing, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
It's very healing.
I just really want to thank you for embracing us, for jumping in, for all the work you do in your own community. You obviously support a lot of artists in that community. So thanks for doing that good work, and thanks for joining me today. It's great
Thanks
talk.
for
Yeah.
thanks for doing it. Bye.
Bye. You've been listening to Social Installations Creative Thinging, Season 1, The Road Trip. For more information on how to fund, go to socialinstallations.com.